Hey guys, Ray from Love You RV, and as promised, I'm back with the review of the HiBoost Travel 4G 2.0 OTW cell booster that I installed back in October before we left on our trip south. So I've used this a few months now. Now this is the truck version for like semi trucks. Being in Canada, they didn't have the RV version, so HiBoost decided to send this one out to me for review. They're very similar though, and actually I kind of prefer the outside antenna, this whip antenna, versus what you get in the RV package. Anyway, I'll just give you a quick look at the RV package. And right there you can see you get this kind of white antenna, and it's kind of a different internal antenna as well, but basically the same amplifier here. So I installed that. I'll link back to the installation video that I did. I went through and showed you how I installed it into my rig. Basically, I put the main antenna, outside antenna, I put it on my ladder and then ran the cable in and grabbed power. I was able to get power out of my my control center and even put a little switch in it so that I can switch the cell antenna on and off. It comes with a 12-volt plug, and it also runs off of a USB, so it's pretty easy to power the thing up. So there's a cell booster install. I'll link to that. Anyway, let's get to the review now. So we basically traveled from British Columbia, Canada, all the way down to, we're down in Arizona area, and we've done 16 different locations where we stopped. I don't really need the booster when we travel. Like, I don't talk on the phone when I'm driving and don't really need it on the highways. It's mostly when we camp, we set up and we use the booster to help with our cell phones, and also I have a MiFi device. So overall, most of the stops we had strong cell signal coverage. This is pretty normal these days. The cell carriers have expanded their coverage so much that, in my opinion, a lot of these boosters, they have less and less usefulness, but, if you need it, you need it. So it proved helpful in 4 locations out of the 16 that were kind of weaker signal locations. In each of these 4 locations, it did boost the data speeds, and like the download and upload speeds. Download speeds were kind of marginally improved, but the upload speeds were actually dramatically improved. So it really does boost the upload speed on the 4G, which can be helpful for video streaming, things like that. I'll just give you a look at some of the reports that came off of my phone. First, I'll give you a look at the different signal strengths on a signal strength meter on my phone, from not boosted to boosted. Now, this doesn't always equate to you're going to have better speed or anything, but it's kind of one indicator. So we're at a spot here that's got pretty weak. We're almost down into the red zone here, 117 dBm. And after it's boosted, it's right up here in the green, 83 dBm. So it basically is working. It's showing the signal strength. But like I say, sometimes you can actually boost your signal strength a lot, and I've even had where the speeds went down. That's one thing about these boosters is in some locations you're better off not to have the booster, I guess because of the overhead of the booster. I've been in locations where I've got a couple bars 4G, and I'm getting pretty good speeds, and I'll turn on the booster and it'll actually make my speeds worse. So you kind of just got to look at each area you go at and see if the booster's going to be useful or not. Let's go to the next screen here, and this is some of the speed tests I did. You can see up here, this would be right here would be the non-boosted. So I was getting a download of 11 megabits per second, and the upload was only 0.48 of a megabit per second. And after I turned on the booster, I did a speed test, and you can see 14.6. So it did increase the download, but look at what it did to the upload. It really increased it. So I found, especially for me, because I'm uploading YouTube videos, and oftentimes they may be a couple gigabytes. So if the comparison between those means anywhere from, uploading it in 15-20 minutes to hours. So That's for someone like me that's uploading videos, it made a dramatic difference. I assume too, if you're doing some type of video conferencing where you're uploading and downloading data at the same time, that's going to be a big difference using the booster. Now this one is in the same spot and just a different test time, so it went from 11 to 16 and went from 0.45 all the way up to 8.44, so another dramatic increase. Here's another test I did. This one actually, this is the non-boosted here, and you can actually see the download speed dropped, and then the upload speed went up quite a bit again. Another location here. This is the non-boosted, so marginal increase in download speed, but again, a dramatic increase in upload speed. So other than the data speeds, the booster did help in one of the 4 locations where we were having poor voice quality. It was kind of garbled, and it would drop calls and stuff like that. So in that campsite, when we turned on the booster, then the phone quality went way up, the voice quality, and the stability went way up as well. In another one, we were actually having trouble streaming Amazon Prime Video. It would just kind of have trouble buffering and starting, and as soon as we turned the booster on, bang, the rest of the evening, no problem streaming the video. So basically, in my experience, the HiBoost cell amplifier system was a valuable tool in some circumstances, but not required in most of our camping sites. Interesting, like I said, if I tried to use it in areas with good signals, it often degraded my data speeds, so it's not something I'd leave on all the time. Each time I had to kind of test out each situation to see if it was helpful or not. Overall, this product is much like others I've reviewed in the past, such as I've done a couple weBoost models, and one called the American Booster was called a Voltec. I'll link back to those if you're interested in those reviews. In my opinion, having used all 3, there isn't really much difference between them performance-wise. They all did a pretty good job. The plus side for the HiBoost is it seems the equipment is often on sale for a lower price than its competitors. Like right now, I think the RV version is under $400. The hardware quality appears to be good. No complaints there. I really like the quality of the outside antenna. Also, it comes with a 3-year warranty, which is nice. One feature of this is it also has a Bluetooth capability, and you can download their Signal Supervisor app, and it kind of gives you an indication if everything's working right on a number of different bands of cell signal bands. And that can be really useful when you're setting up your antennas, because you want good separation between the outside and the inside antennas so that they don't interfere with each other and degrade the signal. So that's kind of a cool feature, and you can always pull up your phone and see how the signals are doing. One thing I didn't like about it, though, is they kind of made you jump through hoops and set up an account with them before you could get the app to work. So I didn't really like that. I think it should have just worked out of the box without having to set up an account with a HiBoost. Well, there you go. That's my experience thus far with the HiBoost cell booster. I'll link to the page that has the different travel boosters here. Like I say, I have the trucking one, there's the RV one, and a car one. One last thing I should mention is on the inside antennas, like these little antennas here, and the one I have, is they don't seem to have a great range. Any of the brands I've ever tried in my RV, the inside antenna range was only up to maybe a foot. After that, it didn't really boost. They kind of indicate that it's going to boost everything in the RV. Now, that could be the case if you had an all-metal RV like an Airstream or a big motorhome where the inside and outside antenna have excellent separation. But in my experience with my fifth wheel, which is an aluminum frame trailer, mostly it's going to have hollow, foam that the signal can transfer through. I find I have to be pretty close to the inside antenna, which isn't a big deal. I have a little MiFi, I just set it next to the antenna, or if I'm going to talk on the phone, I can just elastic band the little antenna to the phone and it works well. Anyway, till next time, Ray from loveyourrv.com. I may come back in the future with an update. We're going to continue using this system going forward. Cheers, folks.